that I can't be bothered making an intro today. I'll just use one of the old ones. What am I doing here today at P&H? I'll tell you, lots and lots, and also quite a bit more. You see, this is the first full day I'm going to have down here for about 2 weeks. So I've got lots of catching up to do, and I've got no excuse not to do loads. So my plan is to do a little bit on everything, because everything needs a little bit. I have gone and made myself a nice little list of things that I need to do. And it is a little list, there's only about 8 or 9 items on there. That's not too many at all. I can easily get through those. Yeah, you know, I can get through those if I stop spinning around. First thing then, Lady Gladys. No, not Lady Gladys. Lady Charlotte of Southport. A car that picked up here with so many hopes and dreams for, but none of it's really working out at the moment. This car needs to go to somebody who knows a bit more what they're doing than what I do. So that can't be too difficult. I'm going to just bung it up for sale now, and if it doesn't sell straight away or quickly or by tomorrow, I might just do a no-nonsense sales pitch video for the thing. Whatever the case, it's rather disgusting. Yeah, gosh, that is curious. That's disgusting. Well, there's the inside of the car. You've seen it before. I was meant to be taking a photograph then instead, not making the video. But while we're at it, in the back of there are a lot of CDs. Does anybody use CDs these days? Look, Koyani Squatsy by Philip Glass. Look, Denny and Arcolio is a chap I used to know very well, didn't know that well. And some more classical guitar pieces there. And it's just a variety of CDs that all belong to me that I don't know if I need any longer. But yeah, with Spotify, I don't really use CDs, and in fact I don't listen to music anyway. I hate this stuff. Well, I hate it, but I just don't listen to it. It just irritates me. It doesn't irritate me, I just don't want to listen to it. Don't know where I'm going here. No, right, carry on. Might help, I'm going to leave the doors wide open on this again today because of the amount of moisture building up in there. Underneath this cover is a Rover 800 that's not moved for a while, and I don't know why, because it does actually start. So I'm going to start it up. And it'll start and it'll drive. I'm going to move it a bit somewhere else. Well, we're back to this same problem again there, where all we get is that. That's quite annoying. It's a bit annoying because I wanted to move this car ever so slightly. Only a bit. Only enough so I can actually fit 2 cars where this one is rather than just one. Yeah, it's nothing to do with the battery either. My next job is on Gladys, to do with the rear demister. Now, you know what? The rear demister staying on, discharging the battery, causing another problem. That's what happened. So I changed the switch, no difference. But more than one person, maybe 5, even 6, said it's more likely to be the relay. So let's try that. Relays, of course, underneath the engine bay, which you can clearly see there, and my spare relays are over there. So the next problem is very clear to see, because you can't see it. You can't see where any of those bits are because of the lack of light in here, and then also the added disorganisation of stuff from home in here, which again you can't really even see. That means I've got to get to the back of here to get something that I can't see, tripping over things I still can't see either, unless I use the torch. But I can't find where that is. And since having this brake in, I've taken to having a car parked there and then parking a car in front of this door in the evening as well. And that means that in order to swing this big door out so I can see what I'm doing, I've got to move 2 cars before I even get started. And that is inconvenient. Inconvenient! I'm not going to make a song out of that. Well then, little Gladys, you're just going to have to come out the lockup and go over there somewhere where I'll have a nice little route around. Anyway, before I go any further, I may as well test the battery's power and everything, make sure that's actually any good with my new Topdon power tester thing. Sent to me courtesy of Topdon. Oh yes, I do love a free gift. So, battery test. Preview data, that's the one. Good charging, yeah, good. 100% healthy. Now that's nice. I like it. Good. Time to charge the test the charging of the battery. That'll do. Normal charging. Good. Excellent. That's obviously good news. That wasn't even on my list of things to do. So look, I'm achieving something today. So all I need to do is find an appropriate relay and swap that over and see whether that does the job. With much searching, well, a little bit, I found this, which is the correct one to go in the hole. Just there. Could stick it in the hole. I think the right way around. Yep, let's try it. Good, off. Oh, hang on. Not on at all now. That's strange. Stupid me. You actually need the engine on. There we go. On. Oh, what? That's a bit more fixed than it was before. It goes off with the engine, and then, but it doesn't go off when you switch it off unless you turn the engine off. Whilst I've got other jobs to do, that'll do for the moment. Sometimes I feel like my only reason for coming down here is to sweep up and charge batteries. And speaking of very dead batteries, could a battery get any more dead than what's likely to be in REC come there? I didn't put this battery in, it was there when I got it. Cable tied down as a way of securing it, and it works. That car has been stood for 18 months, so the chances are that battery is going to be low. And after all, I've had 2 winters worth of, well, maybe 1 winter, I'm not sure, maybe 2, of just having to discharge battery at below 0 as well. And below 0, in case you didn't know, is where batteries really go wrong if they're not charged up. So out of interest, how many volts do you think are going to be left in this battery? I'll give you a moment to have a guess. Well, ready? Not enough to power up this thing. Oh, there we go. 0.2 of a volt. That's never going to work, but I'm intrigued. I kind of want to take it off and charge it up and see exactly how quickly it loses its power. It's a completely unnecessary thing to do, and it's just time consuming, a bit like making a video about it when I should be doing something. Right, let's forget that. Next on the list of things to do is Boaty's rather lovely 25, which I know, because it's been sat here for so long, isn't going to start at all. And we need to do something about that. Do you know what? This thing's actually starting to become quite a useful tool for me. That was indeed the idea, of course. See how well it starts this one up. Yeah, that's okay. Gosh, it's very quiet, that engine. This is where I could do with a couple of battery chargers actually, because this one definitely needs to go on charge. before we end up with some really freezing cold nights. What's going to happen first? Will Boaty take his car home, or will we get a freeze? I think I'm going to have to make a priority of charging this one up down here actually, because it's not going to do that battery much good at all. I don't want somebody else's car to have a knackered battery in the yard. Oh gosh, that sounds rough. Oh gosh, what's going on there? Number one rule for leaving a car parked for any time: don't put the handbrake on. Sticking quite badly actually, that. Didn't sound like it wants to free up. Well, looks like I'm going to have to take that wheel off because it's not freeing itself up. Take the wheel off, give the caliper a right good whacking. But the only trouble is, I need the jack for that. And in this wind, I need the jack for the door. Right then, Boaty's car. We're going to have another go at this. As we can see there, it's dragged its wheel all the way along here. So I've got two options here. One would be to take the wheel off, or the other would be just to carry on yanking the thing around. And that's the one I'm going to go for. Because although obviously this is causing a lot of wear on the tyre, the tyre is shot anyway. Look at that. That's an illegal tyre. We don't need to worry about that. You're not going to get an MOT on that car with that tyre. Ah yes, and that's where the jack is, stopping the door from swinging around. If I release that jack, that's going to be out of control. It is indeed a very, very windy day. I've got to say, that is quite a disappointing result. That's all I can say. Very disappointing. The next job I was about to do was to move the Seat Ibiza, but it's not going tonight after all, and as I can't move that 800, there's not much need for that either, so I call that ticked off. Next rather exciting job is to put that on there, so that can go on there and I can continue to use my airline and know exactly how much pressure of air is in the tyre because I'm pumping up. Here we go again with lefty loosey, ding ding ding, lefty loosey, ding ding ding, righty tighty, ding ding ding. I've been meaning to sort that out for a while because I'm sure that I've got a slightly low amount of pressure in one of my front tyres on the Nigel mobile. Now I can find out, which would be a good thing to find out. Also worthwhile checking my spare. Look at that, brand new, never ever been used, and it was down to about 18 psi, which isn't bad really. I won't even let the air out, it'd stink because it's been in there for about 20 years. Good! Needed because Nigel's on a special trip this weekend. It's true. This Saturday, gone on a nice little road trip. It's gone meet up with somebody quite well known. Anyway, there's another. Oh, I'll leave that open. Looks like this old 800's about to do its Marilyn Manson trick. Next job, this knackered horse is to get in there. It seems like I only ever get in this car when it's been raining. Still works. That's fine. Maybe this one should go for sale as a project as well. Very, very loud project. So, this is okay again now, and well, what do I do? I need to do a vlog of something this week, you see, Someone should buy that. Well, it's not normally the wind that stops the play here, but it is doing today because it was actually knocking the door off the jack. Now the jack's getting wet as well, so I had to just bring that in, and now I'm stood around in the dark wondering if there's something productive I can do. There isn't now. I brought this car back in. Look, I found the sticker. You sent me that ages ago, Ali Mac, and I found it, so I've stuck it on the fridge. I'm going to call today a partial win because most of the things I set out to do I did. There was only really one, which was to get that inlet manifold finally off Rhiannon. It's been 2 weeks now. I think it's 2 weeks it's been since I did that head gasket. Might even be more. I then discovered it was leaking, and I haven't even taken the inlet manifold off just yet. But I can't do this. Look, have another look. Would you like to work in these conditions? If so, please take my job. It's either that or doing it inside, but that means not being able to see whether I'm doing it correctly or not. That'd be a good excuse to get it wrong, I suppose. Light to set off, but you know when your hands get wet and you put them on the steering wheel and they just stick to it. It feels like you're peeling away the surface of the leather, and that's not really what I want to do, is it? No. Finally getting warm and dried off, and it's like I don't want my journey to end suddenly. I just want to stay in the car with all of this lovely warm air coming out. It's a bit like being in summer again, except, you know, obviously there's something very comforting about hot air blowing in your face when it's cold outside, cold and wet and miserable, and inside it's warm, not miserable, except when you run out of petrol. And I haven't got much left now, I'm just thinking of it. I know what I've forgotten. My phone charger.